Kalonzo Musyoka and Kimani Ichungwa, yesterday, they actually came out and they pronounced to the Kenyans that they have reached a deal. And many people never thought that this deal was to be actually reached because of the nature of politics, the way these politicians were coming out and addressing the people of Kenya, it seems to be impossible for them to reach a conclusion on the agendas of the issues that they were going to discuss about. But yesterday, Kalonzo Musyoka and Kimani Ichungwa came and told the public that they have actually reached a deal on the issues which they are going to discuss. So that is actually what we are going to have a length discussion about. But before we do that, I could request you kindly to take a minute or two and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Remember to hit the notification bell. Like these videos. Share the video to your friends. And if your friends are lovers of politics, then request them to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And now, let us try to go back to the issues which actually the bipartisan talk have reached into agreement that they will continue carrying forward their negotiation about. Yesterday, Kimani Ichungwa and Kalonzo Musyoka told the public that they have actually reached a deal on the issues they are going to discuss about in the bipartisan talks. And they actually grouped the issues into 5 major classes. One of the things they said is about the outstanding constitutional matters. That was the first classification. The second classification was about electoral justice and related matters. Another thing is about entrenching funds into the constitution. And the fourth one was about establishment and entrenching of state offices. And lastly, they said that they were going to talk about fidelity of political parties stroke coalition and the law of multi-partyism democracy. Actually, that is how they classified about the issues they are actually going to negotiate about or to have a discussion about. And on the electoral justice and the related matters, they said that they were going to discuss about restructuring and the constitution of the independent and electoral IEBC. And they were going to talk about boundaries and commission. And also, they were going to talk about audit of the 2022 presidential election. And in these around 3 issues, I am very sure that some of the things they have just put them on paper, but coming with agreement, it's going to be very hard. Like now, when they are going to talk about IEBC, restructuring is going to be very difficult because from our experience, you will find that within the IEBC, the authority lies on the chairman. And I don't know how they are going to talk about that during the restructuring of the IEBC. And actually, the audit of the 2022 presidential election, if I was given a priority to advise ODM, I could tell them, you do not need to include that. Because even now, if the servers will be opened, they will find nothing. And that will be quite embarrassing to them. Because if the government knows that some things went wrong, they could not accept to that. But because they have accepted, I could tell Azimio that they should remove that from the talks. And other issues is about the outstanding constitutional matters. And in the outstanding constitutional matters, we have Article 43 of the Constitution, cost of living and related issues. So like the cost of living, they are going to discuss about it. But in which way? And also about implementation of the two-third gender rule. Last time, Mr. Maraga actually declared that during the Uhuru era, because the Constitution two-third rule or was not actually reached. And then Maraga declared that the government was unconstitutional, and he advised Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta to break the government, to dissolve the government. And even currently, if somebody goes to court because of the two-third gender rule, then there's a high likelihood that this government will be actually be said to be unconstitutional because it has not achieved that. So I think through these talks, the government saw an opportunity and brought in that to be discussed so that it can be achieved. Another thing which they accepted so that they can talk about it is about governance issues, including promoting national unity and inclusivity in public appointment. This one, they are going to talk about it, but it will just be on paper. Because implementing about that, it could be very difficult because the way Kenya has been constituted. Because it is true, you may go to other government bodies and then you find that it's only one or two communities which are dominating. So let us wait and see how they are going to talk about that. And another thing they are going to talk about is adequate checks and balance, how they are going to create checks and balance within the government, within parliament, within judiciary, within executive. So let us wait and try to see. But the Constitution actually says that those three arms of government, they are independent. They don't depend on the other. So I don't know what they are going to discuss about on that, but let us wait and see. So another thing they want to discuss is about the Prime Secretary Office, which actually they want to put it in the Constitution. And also the leadership of opposition. They want to create an office of an opposition leader in the government, and it will be funded by the government. So that's another thing they want actually to talk about. And lastly, they want to talk about political hygiene. how they have to respect other parties. So they will also have that, but implementation, it will be something quite hard to do. So I think these bipartisan talks are going to end nowhere, because if they have to come out successfully, then we need to go to a referendum. And I think this is a strategy that William Samuel Ruto is using to waste time. And with no time, the opposition will find that we are heading to 2027 presidential election. So I could tell ODM to stick on few matters. More so they have to look at IEBC so that they can secure the 2027 presidential election. But the all essence of this bipartisan talk, I don't really see it, because it is going to head nowhere. It's like when you are in a football game, one person has scored and he notes that scoring will be very difficult. Then the person will start having a strategy of wasting time. So I think all these things which they want to talk in the bipartisan talks, there are too many, and they may need a referendum. And because of that, I'm very sure we are heading nowhere with this bipartisan talk. I don't know what's your take. Please drop your comment in the comment section below. And if this is your first time to bump into this YouTube channel, I could request you kindly to take a minute or two and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Remember to hit the notification bell so that at any moment we come up with any political content, then YouTube can be able to notify you so that you can watch the content. And also, like our videos. Always, whenever you come across our videos, give them a like. And lastly, share our videos to your friends. And if your friends are lovers of politics, then request them to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And for those ones who have subscribed to this YouTube channel, I say thank you. May God bless you abundantly, because you always inspire us to continue coming up with this kind of analysis. And with that, I say thank you until we see each other in our next political conversation. Goodbye.